So today we are going to solve problems using estimation and addition. Okay, so can you tell me what does estimation mean?
Uh, to round.
To round? Okay, what does it mean to round?
If a number is higher than 5, the number gets greater. If it's below 5, it gets lower.
That's good. Yeah. It's perfect. Awesome. So when do we use rounding in the real world? Do you know? Any examples?
I think in bank.
In a bank? Okay, yeah. Anything else? So like with money and stuff like that? Yeah, okay. Any other ideas?
That's all.
That's all? No, yeah. Well, that's really good. With money, we use estimation a lot because sometimes we can't add all of the exact change in our head, so we just use it in our head. In our mind, we round to the biggest number. So I'm going to show you this awesome picture that talks about estimation. So you can see that estimation kind of means finding close answers. So it may not be the exact or precise answer, but it's about or close to or almost the answer. And you can see we use it when we shop, when we cook, with time, and with distance. So, so what does estimation mean?
It means to round.
To round and find kind of the close answer, right? Yeah. Okay. And then, okay, good. So before we start with estimation and everything, I just want to kind of practice rounding. And you mentioned earlier about if it's 5 or more, you round up, and less than that, you round down, right? So there's also this cool picture. There's this kind of rhyme that people use. I don't know if you ever heard it. It's called to round. You find the place. You look next door. 5 or bigger. Add 1 more. 4 or less. Let it rest. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, right? Yeah, you heard it? Yeah. Okay, so let's. I'm gonna give you an example. So we're gonna use the number 23. So when I say find the place, I'm going to tell you round to the nearest 10th value. So where's the 10th place?
Here.
Here, right? So when I say find the place, we're going to find the place value that we're going to round. And we look next door. So we look next door. Who's that guy?
The ones place.
The ones place. And what number is in the ones place?
3.
The 3. So 5 or bigger, add 1 more. 4 or less, let it rest. Do you know what that means?
5 or bigger, it gets bigger, and 5 below, leave it like that.
Okay. What gets bigger?
The number.
With the whole number or what number?
2.
The 2, right? So if 3, it's 5 or bigger, we add 1 more to the place that we're looking at. But if it's 4, so if it's 1, 2, 3, 4 or less, then we let it rest. So with 23, would we add 1 more or let it rest?
Let it rest.
Let it rest, right? Why?
Because the 3 is below 5.
Below 4. 4 or less.
4.
Yeah, awesome, good. So what about 58? Can you box the place? So when I say find the place, that means the place value, the 10th place. Yeah. So we're gonna look next door, and the number next door, what number is that?
8.
8. Is that 5 or more, or is that 4 or less?
5 or more.
That's 5 or more. Okay, so where do we round it? So what do we do to it?
To 60.
Yeah, we add, since it's 5 or more, the whole number goes to 60, so you can write 60. Yeah, good job. Awesome. So it seems like you know a pretty good idea of rounding. So so rounding is kind of kind of, like you said, it's kind of like estimating. Estimating is rounding, rounding is estimating. So, and you said we can, or we talked about we can use rounding with money. So, so with rounding, let's say we're gonna go shopping. We're gonna throw a party, and we're gonna buy a cake, chips, and soda for everyone for this big party. And we kind of want to know about or how much money we're gonna need, right? So we're gonna just brainstorm. Let's just say, I don't know if this is true, but let's just say a cake is gonna cost $11, and the sodas, we're gonna buy a lot of sodas, so that's gonna be $18. And the chips, we're gonna buy a lot of chips, so we're gonna go to 25. If I tell you add 11 plus 18 plus 25, can you do that in your head?
I think so.
Well, that's because you're really smart, though. But with me, I mean, that's really hard. Because I'm like, oh, okay, carry the 1 or add 2 or it's really hard. You can't do it really fast. So that's why we are going to use rounding or estimating to try to get an answer that's close enough. So what we're going to do is make a little T-chart. And we're going to take these prices or these numbers, and we're going to round them to the nearest tenth value. So I'm going to give you the magic pin, and I want you to draw an arrow from here to here. Okay, so if we round 11, what number would that be?
It would still be 11, I think.
If we're rounding to the nearest tenth, so we're going to find the number. So box the number, we're rounding to the place value. We're going to look next door. Is that 5 or more or 4 or less?
4 or less.
So we're going to add more or let it rest?
Let it rest.
So what number does 11 go to?
To 10.
10, right? Alright, so write 10 on the other side of the T-chart. So we're going to do the same thing for 18. So what is 18 going to be round to?
18 round to 19.
You sure? Let's try that strategy again. We're gonna find the place. Because we're rounding to the nearest 10. We're gonna go to the next door. Is that 5 or more or 4 or less?
5 or more.
So what are we doing? Are we adding 1 more or we're just letting it rest?
Adding 1 more.
Adding 1 more to what?
To 10th place.
To the 10th place. So what is 18 rounding to?
20.
20, yeah, that's perfect. Good job. So we're going to do the same thing with 25. So let's find the place. Look next door. Is that 5 or more or 4 or less?
5 or more.
5 or more, yeah. So what are we going to do? Add 1 more or let it rest?
Add 1 more.
Alright, so... Yeah, that's good. Perfect. So we're going to set up the equation kind of like this, and we're going to put an addition sign.
Over here?
Yeah. Just put a little line right there. Alright, so like I said, for me, adding 11 plus 18 plus 25, that's crazy. That's hard for me. But when I see 10 plus 20 plus 30, it kind of seems easier for me. So let's get the answer that's somewhat close. So can you add 10 plus 20 plus 30?
¿Es una materia en específico o qué?
So you got 60, right? Okay. So let's just see what we would have gotten if we added the exact numbers. So can you add those numbers? Okay, so we got So you got 55. Let me just double check. 8 plus 5 is 13. 14, carry the 1. Oh, okay, cool. So you can see if we got the exact answer, we would have gotten what?
54.
54. But since we rounded, we wanted to find an answer that's about or close to or almost. And what did we get that time?
60.
60. So 54 and 60, that's pretty close, right? Yeah, right. That's pretty close. It's just like $6 more. But I mean, that's pretty close. So that's one way that we can use estimating and rounding to find the answers. Even though it may not be precise or exact, it will give us a somewhat close enough answer. So we're gonna do one more. You can press the little trash can to delete everything. All right, let's say we're going to. I'm not sure. What do you want to do? Throw it on a party? Yeah, throw it on a party. Okay, but this time it's going to be a really big party, like a huge party, like a wedding or a really big party. So we're gonna need food, and let's just say the food is gonna cost $242. Okay, and then under that, the decorations is gonna cost $110. Okay, and then we're still going to need presents or like gift bags, and that's gonna cost a lot. It's gonna cost, excuse me, it's gonna cost $390. Okay, so with estimating and rounding, you can choose whether you want to round to the nearest tenth, hundredths, thousands, 10,000s, millions. So let's just say we want to round to the closest 100. So where's the 100 place value?
Here.
Yeah. So make the t-chart really quick. All right. So with the first number, we have 242, and we said we want to round to the nearest 100. So you found the place, which is the 2 because that's in the hundredths place. So we're gonna look next door, and what number is that?
4.
Okay, is that 5 or more or 4 or less?
4.
4 or less. So what do we do with a number's 4 or less?
Let it rest.
Let it rest. So what would that if we were rounding it, what would that number be?
100.
Okay, I can see why you got that, but like we said, we looked at 242. We look next door, it's 4. You're right. We let it rest. What number do we let? When we say let it rest, what number are we talking about?
100. Place. 2.
242, right? So we're letting the 2 rest. So if we were rounding, what number would it round to closest to? Since we're letting the 2 rest, that means we're letting the 2 rest. So
200.
200, good. You can erase with the other side. Yeah, awesome. So we're going to do the same thing with 110. We're going to find the place, look next door. Is that 5 or more or 4 or less?
4 or less.
Okay, so what happens when it's 4 or less?
We let it rest.
We let it rest. So what do we let rest? The place, right? Which is in what place value?
100.
The 100 place value. So we're letting the 1 rest in the 100 place value, and everything else is rounding down. So what number would that round to? The
100.
100, good. And let's do the same with 390. Let's see if you can do this one. Alright, so let's look. We had 390, and you rounded it to 300. So first, you did the first step.
Oh, now I see what I did.
You see what you did? What'd you do?
I was supposed to go up instead of down.
Why?
Because the 9 is above 5.
5. So we add one more, right? To what value? To what place value?
100.
Yeah, so that's why 390 was rounded up to 400 because 9 is more than 5. Good job. You caught your mistake, and that's awesome. That's really good that you did that. So that's great. We were looking today at how we could use estimating rounding to solve real world problems with money. So that's what we did. We used problem solving with estimation and addition, and you explained how estimation helped us find a reasonable answer. It may not be the exact answer, but it's close enough and kinda about the same. You understand? Awesome. Good job.